just spent the last month restoring the sunroof on this 300D. Now I need to clarify, it didn't take a month of time to fix everything, but it took almost that long to film all the videos and to edit them. So I think I have over 3 hours of video. There are so many things that could go wrong on these old sunroofs that are 40 plus years old, and this one had everything wrong with it, except I stripped cable. I was able to save the original cable. So it starts, you know, back there at the motor. You got the motor to deal with. You got the drive unit needs to be relubricated. The cable needs to come out. The tube needs to be cleaned. The cable needs to be cleaned and lubricated. The sunroof panel has to come out. The headliner panel has to be fixed. The air dam has to come out. The springs need to be replaced, and all the rust needs to be cleaned up. Then the seals have to be put in. And then everything has to be put back together. But then you're not done yet because you have to adjust the height of the roof when it opens and closes. So it ended up being a pretty big job, and I'm going to take you through this video and show you some of the things that we had to deal with. This is an introduction to my series on the 80 to 85 non-tilting sunroofs and how to repair them. This will be a multi-part series video. In this introduction, I just want to talk about some basic troubleshooting, because you want to determine what's wrong with the sunroof before you start ripping things out. Now, in this 300SD, the motor sits way up here. It sits further forward and it's harder to get to than in the W123. But if your sunroof's not working, not moving at all, of course, you're pushing the button, actually wiggle the button back and forth a little bit to make sure it's making contact. And if you still get no sound, no movement, be sure and go check the fuse next. Always check the fuse on these sunroofs, and even wiggle the fuse in the holder to make sure there's no corrosion, anything preventing good contact. Now, I've checked the fuse. I'm not sure about the switch, okay? So the next test is to unplug this and power it directly. So you're going to need a 12-volt power source back here to test this directly. I've got a booster with a cigarette lighter jumper lead I've worked up. So I'll unplug this. Make sure you're testing the wire going to the motor. Okay, this one's going to the motor. It doesn't matter which you hook up, because one direction is one way and hooking it up the other reverses direction. So I'm just going to touch. Okay, that's running it in. And now let's see if it runs out. Look at that. Pulling some amps there. So it's opening the sunroof all the way. So now I need to figure out what's wrong. If this happens, it's usually the dash switch that has gone bad. Let's say that you power this directly and the sunroof motor does not move, or it moves and makes grinding, crunching noises, and the sunroof will not go forward or aft. That means you're going to have to get the motor out and get into it and service it or repair it. There is an emergency way to get the sunroof open. You have to get the sunroof open, or it's a real hassle to get the cable out so you get the motor out. So this whole multi-part series is going to take you through all kinds of things you'll have to do to fix the motor, lube the sunroof, repair the guides, and so on. But right here in this introduction, I'm just going to show you, okay, you're going to turn this counterclockwise. It's going to take considerable effort. Is that enough? You only have to get it open about 8 to 12 inches to get the interior panel off. And then to pull the cable out. Okay, hold on to that. All right. Okay, there it is. All right, there's the cable so that you can remove the motor. If you can't get the cable out of the motor mechanism, you can't get the motor assembly out without completely taking it apart. And I'm going to cover that in one of the parts in this series. There are some very common problems you're going to see here. Look at the air dam. Notice it doesn't spring up. And look at how rusty it is. So fortunately, look what I've got here. I've got a nice, good used air dam out of another 123. So if I install this, I'm going to save a whole bunch of work. The reason these do not flip up is this spring right here that you see. There's one there and one on the other end. Those springs get real rusty and they just break off. And I'm sure that's what's wrong here. And so when you open the sunroof, you know, nothing happens. This should pop up. And here's a tip I can share with you if you're working on a sunroof motor assembly in a W126. It's best to just get in the trunk, because access is really limited. So the entire series will be available to help you solve almost any problem you might have with your sunroof. Once you get the adjustments where you want them, then I recommend you go back inside the car and double check tightness on all the fasteners, including the front, the bar, and double check the tightness of the two adjusting pins. And now we're ready to install the headliner panel. You can see it wasn't possible to show you everything. I just gave you a taste of some of the issues we had to deal with. But when I filmed this, I had to have 7 videos because they were too long. Each video, some of them are a half hour, 35 minutes long, and I didn't want to put them together in a 3-hour video. So they're split up between, you know, how to get the panel out, how to relubricate the panel, how to get it back in, how to get it adjusted, how to get the motor out, take it apart, check all the gears, lube up everything, put it back in, how to get the cable in and out, how to get the air dam out and repaired and back in properly without breaking those plastic connectors, and then how to install the front and rear seals. I don't have a good source for side seals. I do have a video on how to replace them, but so far I'm not happy with the aftermarket side seals, and they're not available from Mercedes right now. This is August of 2024. That may change. So take a look. Look at the air dam. This is how it should work. You know, press down, it should spring up quickly. And now watch the sunroof move back and forth. Notice how smoothly it's moving back and forth. No noise. It's real quiet, and that's the way it should be. Now, I want to show you the 2 kits I came up with. They're called Master Service Kits. I call them the Sunroof Master Service Kits. I had to do one for the 68 to 79 sunroofs because those are the ones that have the square motor. They don't have the air dam. And then I did another series for the 1980 to 1985 non-tilting sunroofs like you see here. Let me show you what I include in the kits. Keep in mind that you're going to get 2.5 to 3 hours of video instructions along with these kits. I'm even including a bonus video that shows you how to get the sunroof headliner panel out if you can't move the roof. And that can be a little tricky. So I include new front and rear seals and the tools and the adhesive to install these properly. And these are very detailed videos because if you haven't heard already, or if you haven't tried, particularly the front seal can be pretty tricky to install. And then this is the lubrication service kit. There are 2 types of lubrication in here, including the factory Mercedes-Benz sunroof grease, which you're going to use on those slides and felt feet. We got some brushes, we got some wire so that you'll be able to clean the tube that houses the cable. That's very important. You pull the cable out and lube the cable, but if you leave the old gooey grease in the tube that runs through the headliner, then you're going to have a problem. Both these lubricants are very high quality, and they're going to make sure that once you do the service on your sunroof, whether it be a 1968 to 1979 or a 1980 to 85, you're going to have a roof that's going to sound and operate like the one I just showed you. Check out the links in the show more below this video if you want to tackle the sunroof problems you're having on your own old Mercedes-Benz.